காம்போசிட் சப்ளை அண்ட் மிக்ஸ்டு சப்ளை பத்தி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். But I feel that I just want to give some examples to make it very clear that what is actually mean of composite supply and the mixed supply. Okay. So இப்போ composite supply அப்படின்னு நீங்க பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஒரு ஃபிளைட் டிக்கெட் புக் பண்றீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஸோ ஃபிளைட் டிக்கெட் புக் பண்ணும்போது நீங்க மீல்ஸும் அதுல இன்க்ளூட் பண்றீங்க. ஓகே. ஸோ அந்த மீல்ஸை இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணும்போது இட்ஸ் அ combination of supply of goods as well as with the services. Okay. So air ticketing where you will do that for traveling, and traveling நீங்க எடுக்க போற food will also part of the ticket fare. Okay. So இது வந்து it's a bundle of supply which they are giving to you. Okay. So இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும்போது இது எது composite supply அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, where you are adding your meals in the air ticket. Okay. So and இந்த ஏர் டிக்கெட் எக்ஸ்க்ளூட் பண்ணி நீங்க சாரி ஏர் டிக்கெட்டை வச்சு நீங்க மீல்ஸை வந்து எக்ஸ்க்ளூட் பண்ணிடலாம். ஓகே. பட் பேசிக் காம்போ என்ன அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, உங்களுக்கு வந்து யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு யூஸ் இட் ஃபார் த டிராவல் ஒன்லி. ஓகே. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது வந்து காம்போசிட் சப்ளை. தட் மீன்ஸ் உங்களோட அந்த அடிஷ்னல் பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு சப்போர்ட்டிவா இருக்குமே தவிர அதுவே மெயினா இருக்காது. ஸோ மெயினா இல்லாம ஒரு சப்போர்ட்டிவா இருக்கிறது வந்து காம்போசிட் சப்ளை. பிகாஸ் நீங்க மீல்ஸ் தனியா வேற எங்கேயும் நீங்க வந்து அதை சாப்பிட முடியாது. ஒன்லி வென் யூ ஆர் டிராவலிங் யூ கேன் ஈட். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற ஐட்டத்துக்கு தான் வந்து நம்ம வந்து காம்போசிட் சப்ளை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். மிக்ஸ்டு சப்ளை அப்படின்னா நம்ம ஒரு பொருள் வாங்கும் போது ஆஃபர்ஸா கொடுப்பாங்க, ஃப்ரீயா கொடுப்பாங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஃப் யூ பை எனி சோப் தே வில் கிவ் பென். ஓகே. ஸோ சில டைம் வந்து நீங்க கேட்டா மட்டும்தான் சில ஷாப்ஸ்ல பென் கொடுப்பாங்க, இல்லை அதை கொடுக்காம கூட போவாங்க. வை? பிகாஸ் தே கேன் செல் பென் செப்பரேட் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற ரெண்டு ப்ராடக்ட்க்கு அந்த பெண்ணுக்கு எவ்வளவு இருக்கிற ஜிஎஸ்டியோ இல்லைன்னா நீங்க வாங்க அந்த சோப்புக்கு இருக்கிற ஜிஎஸ்டியோ விச் எவர் இஸ் ஹையர் வில் பி டேக்கன் ஃபார் valuating the GST under the mixed supply. So இதுதான் basic example. When you can separate the product and when you can sell it, so that will come under mixed supply. When you cannot separate the product and based on the product actual product when you are selling the goods, so that will come under your composite supply. Example புரிஞ்சுச்சா? அண்ட் திஸ் காம்போசிட் சப்ளை அண்ட் மிக்ஸ் சப்ளை வந்து உங்க செக்ஷன் 2 and 30 அண்ட் செக்ஷன் 2 and 74 of CGST Actல they have given it up. Okay. Understood students? Yes. ஏதாவது ரிப்ளை ஆமா இல்ல? சரி ரைட். ஒருத்தராவது எஸ் மேம். ரைட் ரைட். சரிப்பா, அடுத்து நம்ம போலாம். தேங்க்யூ. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் கான்செப்ட் நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னது வந்து ரிவர்சபிள் சார்ஜ் அண்ட் ஃபார்வர்டபிள் சார்ஜ் தான் என்ன அப்படின்னு சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தேன். ஓகே. ஸோ இப்போ ரிவர்சபிள் சார்ஜ் அப்படின்னா ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் இது ரெண்டும் எங்க அப்ளிகபிள் ஆகும் அப்படின்னா இட் இஸ் ஃபார் பேமெண்ட் ஆஃப் யுவர் ஜிஎஸ்டி, தட் இஸ் டாக்ஸ் லைபிலிட்டி கால்குலேட் பண்ணும்போது இந்த ஃபார்வர்ட் சார்ஜ் அண்ட் ரிவர்சல் சார்ஜ் வரும். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இந்த ஃபார்வர்ட் சார்ஜ் அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா, இப்போ நீங்க ஒரு கூட்ஸோ இல்ல சர்வீசஸோ வந்து நீங்க சப்ளை பண்ற டைம்ல இஃப் யூ ஆர் பேயிங் த டாக்ஸ். ஓகே. ஸோ அது அப்போ நீங்க பே பண்ற டாக்ஸ்க்கு வந்து ஃபார்வர்டு சார்ஜ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அண்ட் திஸ் வாஸ் கிளாசிஃபைட் அண்டர் செக்ஷன் 9 அண்ட் சப்செக்ஷன் 1 ஆஃப் யுவர் சிஜிஎஸ்டி. ஓகே. ஸோ ஃபார்வர்டு சார்ஜ் எப்போ வரும்? வென் யூ ஆர் ஆக்டிங் அஸ் அ சப்ளையர் ஃபார் giving the goods and services. So on the time la varudhu forward charge when you are receiving the goods. Okay. From the wholesaler or from the retailer kitta neenga goods vaangumbodhu you will be paying some tax. Okay. So adukku vandu reversible charge appdinu solluvaanga. Okay va? So the reversible charge vandu according to section 9 and subsection 3 and subsection 4 la vandu they are talking about this reversible charge. Okay va? அண்ட் ஃபார்வர்டு சார்ஜுக்கு இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா டைரக்ட் சார்ஜ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஓகே. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஆல் அபவுட் யுவர் forward charge and the reversible charge, which I was supposed to say. I informed you. Then petroleum products நேத்து பார்த்தோம். Now let me. Okay. So இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னா what is the provisions which is applicable for charging under the reversible charge mechanism. ஓகேவா? So reversible charge mechanism என்ன சொன்ன when you are receiving any goods, then how you will be paying the tax liability only we will be seeing. Okay. So எப்படி நீங்க வந்து உங்க tax pay பண்ணுவீங்க when you are receiving the goods, that we will see. Okay. இது வந்து உங்களோட செக்ஷன் 9ல வந்து இது கிளாசிஃபை பண்றாங்க. நீங்க வந்து இப்போ ஒரு குட்ஸ் ரிசீவ் பண்றீங்கன்னா எப்படி டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு செக்ஷன் 9 ஆஃப் ஜிஎஸ்டில தே ஆர் மேக்கிங் இட் கிளியர். ஓகே. ஸோ நீங்க அப்படி பே பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் ஃபார்மோஸ்ட் திங் யூ ஹேவ் டு ஹேவ் யுவர் பேமெண்ட் வவுச்சர் இருக்கணும். ஓகே. ஸோ பேமெண்ட் வவுச்சர்னா at the time of receiving the goods, your supplier would have given you some vouchers. Okay. So that voucher you are supposed to keep. That is, you should have a payment voucher with you when you want to get the reversal charge for your goods and services. So first and foremost thing is you should have a payment voucher. Second thing is you should have a self vouching. Self vouching is, so when you receive the goods or services, as we know that you are supposed to pay the GST. Okay. So when you are paying the GST and when you want to get the reversal of the GST, you have to prepare your own tax invoice stating that I have received so and so goods from so and so suppliers, and for this I'm just paying X or Y amount, that you have to mention. And that preparation of that self invoice should be of single consolidated, and you should prepare it on monthly basis. Monthly basis you have to give what are the goods you have received and what is the tax liability for that particular goods. You have to prepare a invoice, like how we prepare a ledger, same way you will be preparing your self invoicing. Okay. So once you have that self invoicing, next step is you can pay the tax through the electronic cash register only. So GST can be paid through only electronic form. It cannot paid through any other credit ledger, or you cannot pay through cash mode. You can pay cash mode, but if you want to pay cash mode, then you have to fill some challan, and based on that you will be filling. But most probably the GST tax payments are only through electronic cash register only. Okay. No credit ledgers are allowed in the GST payment. Okay. And the next step is ITC can avail only making the payment. ITC in the sense that is online transaction which you are making. Okay. So that can only take place only through cash register. Okay. And the liability of the GST can be reversal. Liability of the GST in the sense whatever the amount which you have paid at the time of supplier, so that can be done reversal in the reversal charges. Okay. And the next one is when you are viewing your issues, the viewing of the issues can be made through reversal charges as well as what is the credit available. Okay. So both the things you can compare it, and simultaneously you can verify what is the um, balance amount which is pending, which you are supposed to pay this, so that can be identified. Okay. Next one, once you have identified what is the amount of portion, then furnish the details of the inward suppliers. Furnish the details means from whom you have purchased the goods, so those details you have to make it very clear, that is from which supplier you have purchased and what is the amount of purchase you have made and what is the inward number you have created for that. So all these details you will be furnishing. Okay. And once you have furnished those details, what is the aggregate value of turnover you have made, so that you will mention. Okay. So that aggregate turnover will be, as I told you in yesterday's class itself, it was not more than 75 lakhs. It should not be there. Okay. And this aggregate turnover will not have any, it will not have include any value of the supplies in the tax liability. Okay. Then the next one is output tax. Output tax in the sense, output tax will excludes the tax liability by him on the reversal charges. So basically, output tax will not have any impact on the reversible charges. Next one is your liability to be registered. So what is the amount of liability you will be, or threshold limit you will have uh, for applying for the GST. Okay, so if you are not coming under section 23 of your CGST, then in that case you don't want to do any registration. Okay, because if you are having any goods which is related to section 32, means there is no need for doing any registration for GST. Other than that, the person who is doing the transaction, then they are supposed to do registration under the GST Act. Okay. Next one is, what is the liability limit for registration for the suppliers? So the person who is dealing with the or supplying with the goods and services are all supposed to get registered with the GST Act. Okay. And get registered with the GST Act, and the exemptions will be available for any scientific goods, or where any research which is done for any basic necessity for those material, the GST will be exempted. Okay, and next thing we will see is what are the mechanism which is available on the interstate transfer. Interstate means within the state. If you are acting as a recipient, then what is the procedure which you will have? Okay, so in case of service provider in the sense, suppose if you are an advocate or if you are an author of any book, okay, uh, from out of India. So in that case, the import service, that is import service in the sense, your IGST will be payable under the reverse mechanism. Okay, that means you are not in India, you are in outside the country. Okay, so in that case, you will be claiming the GST under IGST. Okay, and where if the supplier in different state, then also you will be using the IGST charges will be reversible. But the service recipient is only discharging the liability of the suppliers of the services. That means you have to mention from which suppliers you have received the goods, that has to be mentioned, and the liability will be the person will be liable to pay the IGST Act. Okay. So this is all about the interstate transaction which is there in case of the GST. Okay. And next thing, 1 second, students. CGST as well as IGST. Okay. So the exemption of services which is given under the IGST is are, first one, if you are doing um, any charitable activities. Okay, for those charitable activities, but if you're a registered organization, then in that case, whatever service which is rendering to the charitable institutions will be fully exempted from the CGST as well as IGST. Okay, this is first thing. Second thing is any services by way of transferring of ongoing concern. Ongoing concern in the sense, repeated transfer if you are doing anything. Okay, and those repeated transfers are it is for a independent part, or if it is for the whole. Okay, any of things, but the thing is it just keeps on exchanging. If it is undergoing with any process or something, then in that case those services will be exempted. Okay, second thing is the services is purely a services in the sense, it doesn't have any composite supply, or it doesn't have any mixed supply. Composite supply in the sense where it doesn't act as a combo for any principal services. Okay, so in that case, then those services will be exempted from the GST. Okay, it is the rate of the combos will be exempted from the GST. Okay, that is the pure service natures will be exempted. Okay, whether it is given by the state government or central government or union territory, whatever it is, or whichever the state has been given, so all the services which is given on basis of pure services will be exempted from the GST. Okay, next one is any composite supply of goods, okay, in which the value of supply of goods consists not more than 25 percentage value of the composite supply. Suppose for example, in our example I have given air ticket, okay, and the meal, okay, if the mean value is not more than 25%, okay, so in that case that composite supply whatever you are giving will be purely exempted. Okay, whether it is given by the state or central government or any panchayat or municipal, the values will be fully exempted from the tax. Okay, next one is any services which is given by the state or central government, okay, or any government authorities by doing any activities or any function, so those activities value is also fully exempted. That is any government concern, that is any government institutions, if they do any uh, process, or if they conduct any activity, then the value of that activity will be fully exempted. Okay, next is suppose if you are sending any speed post or any parcel services which is for government purpose, that will be exempted, or any aircraft or vessels which is sending inside or outside India is also exempted, and any transporting of goods or passenger which is by the government, okay, then in that case also GST and IGST will be exempted. Okay, and the next one is uh, though the service which is given by the state or central government, but if it is a business entity and whose business turnover, that is aggregate turnover, if it is up to 20 lakhs, in that case it will be exempted, but in that 20 lakhs, if that 10 lakhs is for any special cause or any special category of tax has been there, so in that case, so those part will be taxable. Okay, and which other things will not be applicable for the taxable purpose under this business entity is, as we said in the previous case, the speed post activities or express, any parcel activities or any insurance which is given by the government, and if the aggregate turnover is more than 20, so in that case, so these will be form part of your taxable limit. Okay, and so, and then any cargo supplies, okay, to any Nepal or any Bhutan or landlocked areas. So in that case, then the goods which you have supplied will not cover under your CGST and GST Act. Okay, and any pure labor contract goods. Okay, for any construction or erection or any commission or installation purpose, if you have given, then that is also fully exempted from CGST and GST. And any service for any fair price shops to central government or state government, like for example a sale of food grains to the ration shops, or kerosene or edible if you are giving, so in that case those items CGST and IGST will be exempted. Okay, and if you are doing any residential dwelling activities, so that will also be exempted. Okay, or any service by person, okay, for religious ceremony or any religious charitable function if you are doing, then the amount which you are spending will be exempted. Okay, provided the exemptions can be given only for renting of rooms. Okay, and that renting of room should be 1,000 rupees or more than that, then only you can get the exemption for that. Okay, one second. Rent should be 1,000 rupees or more than that. In that case, it will be exempted. And the renting of premises is for any community value or any open spacing, then the charges should be 10,000 or more will be exempted. And any renting of shops or space, and the shops renting, if it is 10,000 or more per month, then in that case, that will be exempted from tax. Okay, and any transport with or without any accompanied belongings. That is, if you are doing any through travels, uh, then in that case, travel passengers, so that they'll be exempted. Okay, so these are the certain exemptions which is available in case of your GST payments. Okay, and the next concept is, so we will learn some terminologies. Okay, there is definitions in related to input tax credit. Okay, so input tax credit means the credit which is given for the input tax. Input tax means where it is at the time of issuing of your tax. Okay, so for that, if you get any receivables, then that is called as input tax credit. Okay, and what is mean by input taxes? Basically, the input tax will be given for the registered person. Registered person is whoever it is registered for GST or IGST. For them, the input tax will be given. Okay, so this input tax will be inclusive of all the integrated goods and services as well as the importing of goods, and the tax payable under this input tax credit will be based on the based on the value of the goods, and it doesn't include any composite level. Okay, so that is known as input tax. Okay, then so eligibility for getting the input tax credit is, first one, for getting the input tax credit, you should be a registered person. Okay, so if you are a registered person, then you have to satisfy certain conditions for claiming the input tax credit. First one is you have to possess the tax paying documents. Tax paying documents in sense, whatever the invoices uh, which you have at the time of paying the tax. Okay, so those documents you have to keep it with you at the time of getting the reversal credit. Okay, second thing is required to have a received goods and services. That means whatever goods you have received at the time of making the payment, so that you should be keeping with you. Okay, or at least the transfer document. Suppose if you are not having the goods, but the which you have supplied to your suppliers, so that document should be there. Okay, so then once you have the documents and the for supply details, then you can furnish the return for the input credit. That means you can ask for the refund of your credit. Okay, by giving the details of from where you have received and what tax liability you have paid. Okay, and what's good you have been supplied, and what is the amount of refund you are getting. So all these details you will be filling and you will be supplying it up. Okay, so once you have furnished the return, then the tax payment, the government will be uh, giving you the input tax credit benefits. Okay, because you have also paid the tax and you have also supplied the goods, so in that case the uh, credit has been given to the next supplier, so he will be paying the tax, and whatever the amount you are getting, so that will be refund, that will be utilized for the input tax credit. So this is the uh, um, uh, eligibility. This is the provision which is available for the eligibility of input tax credit. Okay, then when you want to get the input tax credit, what are the documents which you are supposed to have? First one is you have to have the documents of the invoice of your suppliers. Okay, so whatever goods you have receipt, so that receipt note thing you have to get. Okay, second thing is you would have been received your goods to your suppliers, so that document should be will be there. Next one is if you are sending any goods through any shipment. Okay, so in that case bill of entry, the documents should be there. Next one is if you are if you are selling the goods to any distributors, then input services for the distributors, that has to be there. Okay, so these are the documents you have to submit when you're claiming your input tax credit. Okay, and we also see what is the procedure for it. By submitting all these documents, you can claim your refund of your tax under your GST. Okay, once again, students. So these are the documents which you will keep for input tax credit, and you can claim your tax returns. Okay, this is all about it. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு கிளாஸ்ல என்னெல்லாம் பார்த்தோம் அப்படிங்கிற ஷார்ட் ரீகேப் கொடுத்துறேன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து உங்களோட காம்போசிட் சப்ளை அண்ட் மிக்ஸ்டு சப்ளைக்கு ஐ ஹவ் கிவன் சம் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஓகேவா? அதுக்கப்புறமா நம்ம வந்து என்னென்ன கூட்ஸ்லாம் வந்து சாரி, அதுக்கப்புறம் சர்வீஸ் சார்ஜ்னா என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம். ஓகே, ரிவர்சல் சார்ஜ்னா என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் ரிவர்சல் சார்ஜும் அப்புறம் டைரக்ட் சார்ஜ் இந்த ரெண்டுத்துக்கான டிஃபரன்சஸ் பார்த்தோம். இதெல்லாம் என்ன அப்படிங்கறத பார்த்தோம். ஓகே, அதுக்கப்புறம் ரிவர்சல் சார்ஜ்ல இருக்கிற மெக்கானிசம் என்ன அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த மெக்கானிசத்தையும் பார்த்தோம். ஓகே, அதுக்கப்புறம் once we have seen the reversible charge and the reversible charge mechanism, then we have learned about which are the goods which is exempted from the சிஜிஎஸ்டி அண்ட் ஐஜிஎஸ்டி அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம். ஸோ அதில் பேசிக் கூட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சேரிட்டபிள் கூட்ஸ் ஆர் எனி கூட்ஸ் விச் இஸ் கிவன் பை த சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆர் ஸ்டேட் கவர்மெண்ட். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்க பேசிக் கூட்ஸ் வந்து விச் இஸ் ஃபுல்லி எக்ஸாம்டட் ஃப்ரம் த ஜிஎஸ்டி அப்படிங்கிறத பார்த்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து இன்புட் டாக்ஸ் கிரெடிட்னா என்ன அண்ட் வாட் இஸ் எலிஜிபிள் ஃபார் கெட்டிங் த இன்புட் டாக்ஸ் கிரெடிட் அப்படிங்கிறதையும் நம்ம பார்த்தோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து சப்போஸ் நீங்க இன்புட் டாக்ஸ் கிரெடிட் வாங்குறீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்க என்னென்ன டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் வச்சிருக்கணும். ஸோ ஆன் தட் டாக்குமெண்ட் பேசிஸ் ஒன்லி யூ வில் கெட் த இன்புட் டாக்ஸ் கிரெடிட். ஓகே, ஸோ தட்ஸ் இட்.